Miss her voice at 3 a.m. The way she'd whisper, pull me in. I miss the laugh that filled the car, the plans we made under the stars. But lately I've been asking myself, was it her I loved, or how I felt? The version of me with her by my side, the hero I played, the man who tried. She didn't make me better, I see it now. She made me smaller, taught me how to shrink myself to fit her mood, to beg for scraps of gratitude. I thought she was my missing piece, but she was a mirror that only showed the man I wanted to believe was me, not the man I was down the road. I'm not addicted to her, I'm addicted to the story, the one where I'm the savior, the one where there's glory, the one where she finally sees my worth, wakes up one morning and chooses my heart. But stories end and the pages burn, and I'm left with the lesson I didn't want to learn. I'm not addicted to her, she's just the stage where I played a version of me that was never my age. I wrote the script in my own head, gave her lines she never said. I cast her as the one who'd stay while she was packing every day. Not with a suitcase, but with her heart. She was gone before it fell apart, and I was holding on to a photograph of a woman who left me in the draft. You can't miss someone who never existed. You can't mourn a love that was always twisted. You mourn a dream you built alone, and the man you were before you'd known. Addicted to the story, time to put the book down. Library's closing, and I'm the only one still in town. She heard me, I stayed. She heard me again, I prayed. She pulled away, I chased. She came back, I erased. The disrespect, the cold, the lie, the way she'd watch me slowly die. And still I called it love, because it felt like home, broken, lost. My mother did the same, you see. She'd wound me, then come tenderly and say I didn't mean it, I just hurt. And I'd forgive, I'd eat the dirt. So when she did it, I knew the dance, the push, the pull, the second chance, the familiar ache, the comfortable burn. I thought that's what love was, a lesson I'd never learned. It wasn't love, it was trauma with lipstick, a pretty package wrapped in a death wish. It felt like passion, felt like fate, but it was just the pain I learned to tolerate. Trauma with lipstick, she kissed me with the past. The same old wounds, the same old cast. I called it soulmate, called it fire, but I was just hiring my mother's ghost as a desire. Real love doesn't confuse your mind, doesn't leave you in the dark to find your own way out with no flashlight. It doesn't vanish in the middle of the night. Real love builds, it doesn't break, it doesn't make you beg for a crumb of cake. Real love stays when it's hard, not just when it's easy. Real love doesn't make you feel queasy. The chaos was chemistry, but chaos is just chaos, you see. And I deserve a woman who can be still, not one who needs my blood to feel. Trauma with lipstick, I'm wiping off the stain. I'm learning what real love looks like, and it doesn't look like pain. Waited by the phone for months for an apology that never once came through the wire, through the screen. I thought she'd explain what I'd seen. I needed to hear her say I was wrong. Needed her to sing my song, to admit the gaslight, admit the game, to finally speak my very name. But she moved on like I was dust, like my heart wasn't something she crushed. She posted photos, laughed with friends, while I was piecing together my ends. And I realized, sitting in my car, that she wasn't coming, she'd gone too far. For her the story ended when she left. For me, it was a wound she'd never address. Closure is taken, not given. I had to learn that hard. She won't apologize, she won't send a card, she won't make it make sense, she won't explain, because to her my pain is just a passing train. Closure is taken the day I stopped needing her voice to tell me I had a reason to make the final choice. She gave me all the answers in the way she lived. I just didn't want to read them, I wanted to be forgiven. So I wrote my own ending on a page. I closed the book and locked the cage. I said I don't need her to say she's sorry, I just need to leave her to her own story. Her silence was the closure, her absence was the sign, her indifference was the period at the end of the line. I stopped waiting for the words she'd never say, and I walked myself out of the place. Same mouth that lied to you won't tell the truth. So stop asking for water from a dry roof. Closure is taken, and I took it today. I closed the door and I walked away. She texted, hey, at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday when I'd almost forgotten them. Her name on my screen, a punch to the chest, and for a moment I forgot I'd been blessed to be free of her, to be out of the fire, grab my phone, my own desire to feel her voice, to feel the thrill, to forget for a second that she made me ill. I responded, hey, how are you? She said, I miss the old us, don't you? And just like that, I was back in the cage. The addict who forgot the rage. I didn't sleep that night, I dreamed of her face. I woke up feeling like I'd lost a race. To myself, to my peace, to my ground. She texted, and I let myself drown. Relapse, it's a quiet word for a loud collapse. She doesn't wanna fix it, she just wants the gas. She doesn't wanna heal, she doesn't wanna stay. She just doesn't wanna be forgotten, and I let her play. Relapse, I checked the story, I watched her move. I let her reopen the wound I was trying to soothe. She's not coming back, she's just keeping the door ajar, and I'm the one who walks through it, forgetting who we are. I finally learned what she was doing. She wasn't missing me, she was just renewing her power over me, her ego's feed. She needed to know I'd still bleed, and I did. I bled right there, staring at my phone, pulling out my hair. But then I blocked her, took a breath, and chose my sanity over death. She's not a lover, she's a habit, and habits die when you starve the addict. Relapse, not today, no more. I'm closing the door. I convinced myself she was rare, that no one else could compare, that her laugh, her touch, her way was the only sun that'd light my day. But that's not true, that's isolation, that's fear of a new destination, that's me not having met the next one who won't leave my soul perplexed. I stayed inside, I didn't go out, I let her memory fill my mouth with stories of how good she was, when really she was just because I hadn't upgraded my environment. I hadn't felt a new excitement. I hadn't seen a woman's eyes that didn't come with her disguise. You still want her because you haven't met better, not because she was exceptional, because you're still in the sweater she left behind, the one that smells like her. You're not missing her, you're missing the blur. A man with options heals faster and deeper. A man with purpose becomes a keeper of his own peace, of his own stride. He doesn't stay for a woman who's already died. So I went out, I talked to strangers, I rewired my brain from the dangers of thinking she was the only one. She wasn't even the best, she was just the first undone. I met a woman who laughed like rain, who didn't play the push-pull game. She was kind without an agenda, and she didn't make me surrender. She's not replaceable, she's just not the last. There's a whole world of women who won't hold your past against you, won't punish you for her mistakes. You just have to leave before your heart breaks. You haven't met better, but you will if you leave her on the hill and walk down to the field. I want her smile, I want her skin, I want the way she pulled me in. I want the good days, God, they were good, when she was soft and understood. But wanting isn't wisdom, and desire isn't a vision. I can want cocaine and still know it'll ruin everything I've built below. Presents cost cost me my sleep, my peace, my joy, my wallet deep. She doesn't mean to take, she just does. But she's a hurricane that never was, a storm that pretends to be a breeze, but she leaves rubble in the freeze, and I'm the one who cleans it up while she drinks from a different cup. Wanting her doesn't mean she's good for me. I can't want the fire and still wanna be free. Of the burn, the ash, the smoke in my lungs. She's not the love I need, she's the song I've sung. Too many times on repeat, hoping for a different end, but her chorus always breaks me, and I can't pretend that wanting her is enough to build a life. She's not my future, she's a beautiful knife. I made a list of what she actually gives, not what I hope for, not how she lives. Inside my fantasy, inside my head, the list was short, mostly dread. She gives me anxiety, she gives me doubt, she gives me reasons to scream and shout. But love, stability, a gentle hand. She gave me a desert and called it a land. Cost you your peace, you're in emotional debt, and the interest never ceases. Emotional debt. I'm filing for bankruptcy of her, of us, of the misery. Kept waiting for a bigger crime, a betrayal so clear, perfect sign. Something I could point to and say, see, this is why I walked away. But the death was slow, 1,000 cuts. The disrespect, the closing of her guts. She didn't cheat, maybe she did, I don't know. She just slowly stopped helping me grow. She dismissed my dreams, she rolled her eyes. She made me feel small with her little sighs. She didn't build with me, she just watched me build, and then complained about the time I killed. That's not a crime you can put in a frame. It's not a smoking gun, it's not a name. It's a slow leak in the tire of the soul. to be free. You need courage, not evidence of her sin. You need to know that peace is where you begin. I'm not waiting for betrayal, it already happened, I just didn't write it down. She disrespected my vision, she neglected my crown. I don't need more proof, I don't need a fight, I just need to leave her and go toward the light. So I packed my bags without a villain, just a man who stopped being willing to give his everything to someone who gave nothing but the occasional pity wave. I don't hate her, I hope she heals, but I'm not the doctor, I'm not the field. She can harvest her lessons somewhere else. I'm finally putting myself on the shelf. Just walk out when it stops being your spouse. Courage over evidence, I'm leaving, not because she's evil, because I'm finally believing that I deserve a woman who sees me. Hardest thing I've ever done wasn't building a business, wasn't holding a gun, wasn't fighting in a war or climbing a hill. It was walking away from the woman who could still make my heart race with a single text. The woman I knew would leave me perplexed, but God, she was beautiful, she was fire, and she was also a funeral pyre. I had to choose between what felt good now and who I wanted to be tomorrow somehow. Between the comfort of her skin and the discomfort of letting real love in. Pleasure whispered, stay, she'll change. Purpose whispered, she's deranged. Not crazy, just not aligned with the man you're trying to find. The hardest, most masculine thing I ever did was walk away from pleasure when it hit behind the face I wanted to believe was home, but was really just a throne I sat on alone. Masculine isn't fighting, it's not staying through abuse, it's walking away from what you want because you choose a future that doesn't include her hurricane. purpose is too big for her small hands. My peace is too precious for her demands. My future children deserve a mother who's whole, not a woman who's still digging for her own soul. So I left not yelling, not crying, just slowly, quietly dying inside. But the dying was rebirth, and I walked out of the fire back to earth. From pain, we walk away from pleasure when it threatens our name. The hardest and most masculine thing, I did it and I'm still standing. My heart is mending. I used to think letting go meant hate, but I don't hate her. I'm just done waiting for her to become the woman she showed me in flashes of light and glimpses holy. She's not evil, she's not cruel, she's just not my fuel. She's a beautiful detour, a scenic route, but I need the highway. I need the absolute. Every time I held on too tight, I delayed the woman who's meant to be my light. The one who doesn't need fixing, doesn't need saving. The one who shows up without the craving for drama, for chaos, for the push and pull. She's out there, but my hands were full of a ghost who wouldn't leave the bed, of a woman who lived inside my head. She's in the way, not because she's bad, but because she's blocking the best I never had. I can't meet my future if I'm holding the past. I can't build forever if I know it won't. She's in the way of my peace, my rise. She's in the way of my sleep, my eyes. I'm not blaming her, I'm just telling the truth. She's the door I need to close to find my youth. So I said goodbye, not with a curse, but with a whisper, a small purse of gratitude for what she taught me. Then I turned around and fought me, the part that wanted to look back, the part that saw her as my track. She's not the train, she's just the station, and I've been waiting for no destination. because she's evil, because she's in the way. And I'm done being a disciple at the altar of delay. She's in the way, and I'm walking around her, not angry, not bitter, just lighter. Brother, I know you're reading this at 2 a.m. I know you just checked her Instagram. I know you're wondering if she's thinking about you. She's not. She's thinking about herself. And that's not evil, that's just where she is. But you're thinking about a ghost, a woman who never actually existed. You're in love with your own imagination. So here's the truth: letting her go isn't losing her. Finding yourself. Block her, delete the photos, stop rehearsing conversations, stop hoping she'll have a sudden awakening. She won't, but you will. The moment you choose yourself over the fantasy, your whole life will shift. It will hurt, it will ache, you'll wanna go back. Don't, because on the other side of this pain is a version of you who doesn't need her to breathe. And that man, he's free. Now go block her and start living